Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins Collections. If you're someone who loves discovering rare and valuable coins, today's video is going to blow your mind. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1975 United States 5-cent coin, a seemingly humble nickel that's far more valuable than you'd ever guess. Stick around until the end of the video, because we'll reveal just how much this coin could be worth in today's market. So, let's get started and uncover what makes this particular nickel from 1975 so special. To truly appreciate the value of the 1975 5-cent coin, we need to take a quick trip back in time. The 1970s were a pivotal decade in U.S. history, both politically and economically. It was a time of change, with significant developments such as the end of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, and a shift in the nation's economic landscape due to inflation. In the midst of these shifts, the U.S. Mint continued its production of coins, and the 1975 5-cent coin was part of that year's regular coinage release. But, here's the catch: while the 1975 nickel wasn't particularly rare when it was first minted, over time, it's become one of the most interesting and valuable pieces for coin collectors, especially due to a few distinct features that are linked to the minting process of that year. Now, let's talk about the mint mark on the 1975 5-cent coin. For many collectors, the mint mark is the key factor in determining the coin's value. Mint marks are small letters that indicate where the coin was produced, and in the case of the 1975 5-cent coin, there are a couple of key variations that make a huge difference in its value. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. The most common version of the 1975 nickel has no mint mark at all. These were produced in massive quantities at the Philadelphia Mint and, while still part of history, they're not as sought after by collectors. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The version of the 1975 nickel that carries the D mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Denver Mint, is much rarer. It's this version that could hold the key to a valuable find in your collection, especially if it's in mint or near mint condition. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Interestingly, there's also the possibility of finding the 1975 nickel with an S mint mark. However, these are far rarer and are generally found in proof sets, rather than regular circulation. The rarest versions, the ones with the D or S mint marks, are particularly interesting for collectors because they were produced in smaller numbers or as part of special sets, making them harder to come by today. Before we move on to its value, let's take a look at the design of the 1975 5-cent coin. The design features Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, who's been immortalized on the nickel since 1938. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see a classic portrait of Jefferson, created by renowned engraver Felix Schlag. On the reverse side, there's an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia plantation home, which stands as a tribute to his legacy and his contributions to the founding of the United States. The reverse has remained relatively unchanged for many years, making it one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. While the design hasn't drastically changed over the decades, the condition and rarity of the coin, based on factors like the mint mark, are what can make a seemingly simple nickel a valuable treasure. Now, let's talk about what really matters to collectors: rarity and condition. You might have a 1975 5-cent coin in your collection, but is it worth anything? The key lies in the coin's condition, especially if it has a rare mint mark. Uncirculated condition. The value of a coin is highly dependent on its condition. A coin that has been carefully preserved without signs of wear or tarnish will fetch a much higher price. This is why collectors are always on the lookout for coins in mint state, those that show no signs of circulation and look as fresh as the day they were minted. Proof coins. The 1975 nickel in proof quality, especially if it's a S mint-marked coin, can also carry significant value. These coins are specially struck for collectors and have a mirror-like finish that is highly prized among numismatists. But, what's the real catch here? The key to making your 1975 5-cent coin really valuable is finding one in mint condition, especially one from the Denver Mint or San Francisco Mint. In addition to its rarity, some 1975 5-cent coins have minting errors that can make them even more valuable. These errors could be anything from misaligned dies, double strikes, or off-center mintings, the kind of flaws that make these coins stand out in the collector's market. Rare coins are particularly sought after because they are unique. There's only one like it in the world, which makes them highly desirable and significantly more valuable than their regular counterparts. Alright, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. How much could your 1975 5-cent coin be worth, if you happen to have one of these mint-marked coins in excellent or uncirculated condition, especially the rarer D mint mark from Denver, or a proof-quality coin with the S mint mark? It could be worth $25,000. That's right, $25,000 for a single 1975 nickel. It's incredible how a seemingly small coin can carry such a large value, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. Condition, rarity, and sometimes even a small error can drastically increase the worth of a coin. So, there you have it. If you have a 1975 5-cent coin, especially one from the Denver or San Francisco mint, and it's in great condition or has a minting error, you could be holding onto a hidden treasure worth up to $25,000. Make sure to check your coin collection, and keep an eye out for these rare gems. Today, we've got something special to talk about: the 1978 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the 1978 nickel. While it might seem like just another piece of pocket change, trust me, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. In this video, we'll be diving into the history of the 1978 nickel, its minting details, its design, and most importantly, its value in today's market. You won't want to miss the final reveal, so stick around until the end to find out just how much this little nickel could be worth. Let's get started. The 1978 5-cent coin, or 1978 nickel, was minted during a unique period in U.S. history. In the late 1970s, the United States was going through economic changes, marked by inflation and a push for economic recovery after the energy crisis earlier in the decade. During this time, the U.S. Mint was still producing the familiar Jefferson nickel, which had been in circulation since 1938. The design of this nickel, which features Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, remained largely unchanged throughout the 1970s. But what really makes the 1978 nickel so intriguing is that, although millions of these coins were made, a few key details about their minting process make some of them incredibly valuable today. Specifically, the mint mark and the condition of the coin play a huge role in determining its worth. When it comes to coin collecting, the mint mark is one of the most important factors in determining a coin's value. The mint mark shows where the coin was struck, whether it was made at the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, or the San Francisco Mint. For the 1978 5-cent coin, there are several variations to look out for. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. The most common version of the 1978 nickel came from the Philadelphia Mint, and this coin doesn't have a mint mark. These coins were produced in huge numbers, and while they're still collectible, they're not the rarest or most valuable of the 1978 nickels. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The version with the D mint mark, struck at the Denver Mint, is a bit rarer than the Philadelphia version. Though still relatively common compared to other variations, it's often more desirable for collectors, particularly if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Although less common, the S mint mark coins from the San Francisco Mint are especially prized by collectors. These coins were often made as part of proof sets, which were issued for collectors rather than for circulation. If you find a 1978 nickel with the S mint mark in your collection, it could be worth a lot more than you'd think. The rarity of the mint mark, and its combination with the coin's condition, can significantly boost the value of a seemingly common nickel. But that's just the beginning of what makes this coin so special. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the design of the 1978 5-cent coin. As always, the obverse, front, side features a classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence and the third President of the United States. This portrait was designed by artist Felix Schlag and has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1938. On the reverse side, we see Monticello, Jefferson's iconic plantation home in Virginia. The image of Monticello has appeared on the reverse of the Jefferson nickel since the coin's debut. Its classical design and representation of Jefferson's legacy as a founding father give the nickel a timeless appeal, but while the design is iconic, it's the coin's rarity and condition that are key to unlocking its true value, especially in today's collector market. Here's where things get even more exciting. Many coins from the 1978 production run are just regular nickels, but some of them have minting errors that make them worth even more. These errors can include things like misstrikes, a coin that struck improperly, resulting in a misaligned or incomplete design; double strikes, a coin that's been struck more than once, which can lead to overlapping images or text; off-center strikes. This happens when the coin doesn't line up properly on the press, leaving part of the coin blank or with an incomplete design. Error coins like these are highly sought after by collectors because they are one of a kind. If you happen to find a 1978 nickel with any kind of error, it could add a huge premium to its value. Additionally, coins that were carefully preserved in uncirculated or proof condition will naturally command a higher price than those that have seen years of circulation and wear. When it comes to coin value, condition is everything. A 1978 5-cent coin that has been stored properly and remains in mint condition, with no scratches, marks, or tarnish, can be worth far more than one that's been worn down from years of use. Coins that are graded as MS 65, mint state 65, or higher are typically the most valuable in the market. These coins have sharp details and a lustrous finish, making them ideal for collectors. The higher the grade, the more money the coin is likely to bring in at auction or on the market. Coins in lower grades, with visible wear, won't command nearly as much value, which is why preservation is key for any serious collector. So, now the big question: how much is the 1978 5-cent coin worth? Well, if you've got a 1978 nickel in pristine condition, especially with a rare mint mark, particularly the D or S mint mark, or any unique minting errors, your coin could be worth an impressive $27,000. That's right, $27,000 for a single 1978 nickel, depending on its rarity and condition. It's amazing to think that a coin worth only 5 cents when it was first minted could now hold such value. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. Sometimes the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. So, if you've got a 1978 5-cent coin in your collection, or if you come across one in your change, make sure to check it carefully. A mint-marked version in excellent condition, especially with a rare error, could be worth a lot more than you think. Today, we're about to dive into the fascinating world of the 1972 United States 5-cent coin, commonly known as the 1972 Jefferson nickel. Now, you might be thinking, a nickel? Really? But trust me, this particular coin could be worth far more than you might imagine. So stick around until the end of the video, because we'll reveal just how much this little 5-cent piece could fetch today in the collector's market. Let's jump in and uncover what makes the 1972 5-cent coin so special. The year 1972 was a fascinating time in U.S. history. The country was in the midst of the post-Vietnam era, recovering from the social and political upheavals of the 1960s and early 70s. It was a year marked by political changes, as President Richard Nixon was re-elected, and the United States was also grappling with inflationary pressures and the beginning of the energy crisis. But while all these significant events were unfolding, the U.S. Mint was busy producing one of its most iconic coins, the Jefferson nickel. The 1972 5-cent coin was part of a long-standing series that has featured the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, since 1938. However, even though this coin seemed like just another year in the series, there are a few key aspects that make the 1972 nickel stand out in the world of numismatics. Let's take a closer look at the design of the 1972 5-cent coin, which has remained relatively unchanged for many years. On the obverse side, you'll find a classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by engraver Felix Schlag. The image of Jefferson was carefully crafted to capture the likeness of the third U.S. president, who played a pivotal role in the founding of the nation. The reverse side of the coin features an engraving of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home in Virginia. Monticello is one of the most recognizable symbols associated with Jefferson and represents his intellectual and architectural legacy. The reverse design has remained a staple on the nickel since its debut. While the design of the coin hasn't changed, what makes this coin particularly valuable isn't just the imagery, it's the rarity and the condition of specific 1972 nickels that can lead to significant value in today's market. Now, here's where things start to get interesting: the mint mark. If you're not already familiar with the term, the mint mark is a small letter on the coin that indicates where it was minted. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities, and the mint mark helps collectors track where a particular coin was made. For the 1972 Jefferson nickel, there are several different mint marks you'll want to pay attention to. Philadelphia Mint. The most common version of the 1972 nickel came from the Philadelphia Mint, and it's marked by the absence of a mint mark. These coins were produced in large quantities and are the most widely circulated, meaning they're not the rarest or most valuable. However, they can still be of interest to collectors, especially in excellent condition. Denver Mint. The D mint mark indicates the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. This version is a bit rarer than the Philadelphia version, but it's still relatively easy to find. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing millions of these nickels, so they're more common compared to the San Francisco or proof coins, but they still hold value, particularly if they are in uncirculated or pristine condition. San Francisco Mint. There's also the possibility of finding 1972 nickels with an S mint mark, which were made at the San Francisco Mint. However, this is less common, as these coins were typically struck as part of proof sets intended for collectors. The S mint-marked coins tend to have a better finish and are highly prized by collectors, especially in excellent or near-mint condition. The mint mark plays a huge role in determining the rarity of the coin and can greatly affect its value, so always make sure to check it closely when evaluating a 1972 nickel. What makes this coin even more interesting for collectors are the error coins and rarer variants. Sometimes, during the minting process, mistakes happen, whether it's a double strike, a misaligned die, or an off-center strike. These errors can make a coin much more valuable. Some of the more common errors for the 1972 5-cent coin include double die strikes. A double die strike occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, resulting in a blurry or overlapping design. These types of errors are highly desirable among collectors because they're unique and make the coin stand out. Misaligned strikes. This error happens when the coin isn't properly aligned on the press, leaving part of the coin blank or incomplete. Misaligned strikes can be pretty rare, and collectors love them for their unusual look. Off-center strikes. If the coin isn't centered properly on the press, you'll end up with a misplaced design that can sometimes result in a dramatic error. These coins are prized for their unique appearance and rarity. If you happen to have a 1972 nickel with any of these minting errors, it could be worth significantly more than a regular nickel in good condition. While the mint mark and potential errors play a huge role in the value of the coin, the condition is also key. If you're lucky enough to have a 1972 nickel that has been well preserved, meaning it has no visible wear, scratches, or tarnish, you could be sitting on a very valuable piece. Coins in uncirculated or mint condition are far rarer than those that have been in circulation for decades. A coin that has sharp details, a glossy finish, and minimal wear can fetch much higher prices in the collector's market. Coins that are graded MS-65 or higher are the most desirable. If your coin has been carefully stored, kept in pristine condition, or even graded by a professional service, its value will skyrocket. So, now that we've covered the history, the design, the mint marks, and the errors, let's get to the million-dollar question. How much is the 1972 5-cent coin worth today? Well, if you have a 1972 nickel with a rare mint mark, especially a Denver or San Francisco mint-marked coin, or if it has a minting error, your coin could be worth $28,000. Yes, you heard that. Right, $28,000 for a single 1972 nickel. Imagine that, something worth just 5 cents when it was first minted could now be worth thousands of dollars. So, if you have any 1972 nickels in your collection, or if you find one in your spare change, make sure to give it a close inspection. If you have one in pristine condition, or with a rare mint mark or minting error, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. Today's video is going to absolutely blow your mind. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and sought-after coins in U.S. history, the 1964 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the 1964 Jefferson nickel. Now, you might be thinking, a nickel? How valuable could that possibly be? Well, hold on to your seats, because this seemingly humble coin could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Stick around until the end, because we're going to reveal just how much this 1964 nickel could be worth today in the world of collectors. You won't believe it. Let's kick things off by setting the stage with a bit of history. The 1964 Jefferson nickel was minted during a pivotal year in U.S. history. The country was riding high on the post-World War II economic boom, and the 1960s were a time of cultural change, social upheaval, and technological progress. In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson was in office, and the Civil Rights Act was passed, marking a significant moment in American history. In the world of coinage, 1964 was a year of major change as well. It was the year the U.S. Mint shifted its approach to coin production. Specifically, this was the last year of the 90% silver coinage before the U.S. transitioned to clad coins. While dimes, quarters, and half dollars made of silver were still being minted, the Jefferson nickel never contained silver, and the 1964 5-cent coin remained in the same copper-nickel composition as its predecessors. The 1964 nickel also marks the final year of a major change in the Jefferson nickel series, as the design had remained mostly unchanged since its introduction in 1938. So, in a way, the 1964 nickel represents the last of its era, which makes it a key piece for coin collectors. But the true value of this coin doesn't come from just its historical context. It's the rarity, mint marks, and condition that can make a 1964 nickel worth thousands of dollars. Before we dive into what makes this coin so valuable, let's take a moment to appreciate the design of the 1964 Jefferson nickel. On the obverse side, you'll see a classic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by engraver Felix Schlag. Jefferson is known for his monumental contributions to the nation, including authoring the Declaration of Independence. The portrait on the nickel aims to capture his dignity, and it has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1938. On the reverse side, the design features Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia plantation home, which is depicted as a symbol of Jefferson's legacy as a statesman and architect. Monticello was chosen as the reverse image because of its historical significance, and the detailed engraving gives the coin a timeless appeal. The design itself is simple yet profound, reflecting the strength and principles of the early American Republic. But there's more to this coin than just its design. As any experienced coin collector will tell you, the value of a coin is often determined by more than just how it looks. Now, let's get to the nitty-gritty of what really affects a coin's value: the mint mark. You might be surprised to learn that not all 1964 nickels are created equal, and the mint mark plays a huge role in determining the coin's rarity and value. The mint mark is a small letter located on the reverse side of the coin, usually near Monticello, that indicates where the coin was struck. For the 1964 Jefferson nickel, you'll typically find one of three possible mint marks: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark. The most common version of the 1964 nickel came from the Philadelphia Mint and does not carry a mint mark. These coins were produced in large numbers, and while they're still collectible, they don't carry the same premium as the rarer mint-marked versions. They're more common in circulation and are generally worth less than other varieties. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The Denver version of the 1964 nickel is much rarer than the Philadelphia version. Although millions were minted, they are still less common and more sought after by collectors, especially in high grades or pristine condition. If you've got a 1964 D nickel in mint state, you're in for a potential treasure. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. The S mint mark signifies that the coin was struck at the San Francisco Mint. While the 1964 S nickel wasn't minted in as large numbers as the Philadelphia or Denver varieties, it's rarer, especially in higher grades. Many of the San Francisco nickels were struck as part of proof sets, which were sold to collectors. As a result, the 1964 S nickel tends to be in better condition, making it particularly desirable in the coin market. the mint mark is essential when determining the value of the 1964 nickel, and knowing which mint produced the coin can significantly affect its worth. If you're a seasoned collector, you know that condition is everything in the world of numismatics. The 1964 nickel is no exception. If you happen to have a well-preserved nickel that has sharp details, no visible wear, and a lustrous finish, it could be worth much more than a coin that's seen years of circulation. Coins are graded based on their condition, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins that are graded MS 65 or above, mint state 65 or higher, are the most desirable for collectors, as they feature no significant signs of wear and retain their original beauty. Uncirculated coins in pristine condition, especially those with rare mint marks, can command premium prices at auctions or from private collectors. Now here's where things get really exciting. Sometimes, during the minting process, errors can occur, leading to rare variants that can be worth a lot of money. These minting errors make the coin unique and are highly sought after by collectors. Some of the common errors to look for include double strikes. A double strike occurs when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing a blurry or overlapping image on the coin. These double strikes are quite rare and make the coin far more valuable to collectors. Misaligned strikes. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned on the press, leading to an off-center image or a partially blank coin. Misaligned strikes are a sought-after error in the world of numismatics. Die cracks or cuds. These are small cracks or raised areas on the coin surface, caused by a damaged die. While not as dramatic as double strikes or off-center strikes, die cracks or cuds can still add value to a coin, depending on their severity. If you happen to find a 1964 nickel with one of these rare minting errors, it could be worth significantly more than a typical coin of the same year. So, what's the big reveal? How much is the 1964 5-cent coin worth today? Well, if you have a 1964 nickel in pristine condition, particularly one with a rare mint mark, such as D or S, or one with a unique minting error, your coin could be worth an impressive $29,000. Yes, that's right, $29,000 for a single 1964 Jefferson nickel. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. So, the next time you find a 1964 nickel in your spare change, make sure to check its condition, mint mark, and any possible errors. You could be holding a hidden treasure worth thousands of dollars. Today, we've got a real treat for you because we're talking about the 1990 United States 5-cent coin, also known as the 1990 Jefferson nickel. Now, you might think that a nickel from 1990 is just another coin you can find in your pocket change, but hold on, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. By the end of this video, we're going to reveal just how much this 1990 nickel could be worth, and trust me, you won't believe it. Stick around as we take a deep dive into the history, design, and most importantly, the value of this incredible coin. Let's get started. Let's take a step back in time to 1990. It was a year of significant events. The Cold War was winding down, the Hubble Space Telescope was launched into orbit, and the First Gulf War had just begun. In the world of currency, however, the 1990 Jefferson nickel was relatively unremarkable at first glance. The coin was part of the ongoing series of Jefferson nickels that had been in circulation since 1938, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and his iconic home, Monticello, on the reverse. Despite being produced in massive quantities, the 1990 nickel is more than just a token of everyday transactions. Coins from this period were made with a particular attention to detail, and while the year itself doesn't mark a monumental change in U.S. coinage, there's something about the 1990 nickel that makes it particularly special for collectors today. So, what makes this seemingly common coin so valuable in the modern world of numismatics? Let's explore that. Now, let's take a look at the design of the 1990 Jefferson nickel, which, on the surface, might seem like your typical 5-cent coin. But take a closer look, and you'll see the beauty and history captured in this small piece of currency. On the obverse, the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Designed by engraver Felix Schlag, this image has been used on the Jefferson nickel since its debut in 1938. Jefferson, a founding father and author of the Declaration of Independence, is depicted in a dignified, left-facing profile. His portrait is iconic, representing American values of liberty, democracy, and freedom. On the reverse side, we find an engraving of Monticello, Jefferson's plantation home in Virginia. Monticello is not just a representation of Jefferson's life, it's a symbol of his contributions to architecture and his vision for the new American Republic. The detailed engraving captures the grandeur of Monticello, reflecting Jefferson's lasting legacy, but while the design might seem familiar, the value of the 1990 Jefferson nickel depends on more than just the images on the coin. It comes down to factors like mint marks, rarity, and the condition of the coin, key elements that can drastically impact its worth. Now, here's where things start to get really interesting: the mint mark. The mint mark is a small letter stamped on the coin that tells you where it was struck. There are several different mints in the US that produce coins, and the mint mark gives us valuable insight into the rarity of a particular coin. For the 1990 Jefferson nickel, there are 3 possible mint marks to look out for. Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark coins minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark. This version is the most common of the 1990 nickels, with millions produced. While these coins are still collectible, they tend to be less valuable than their Denver or San Francisco counterparts. Denver Mint, D mint mark. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. This version is a bit rarer than the Philadelphia version and is typically more desirable, especially in mint condition. As with most coins, the 1990 D nickel is more valuable if it's free from wear and has been carefully stored. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark coins struck at the San Francisco Mint are generally of higher quality since the mint often produced proof sets specifically intended for collectors. The 1990 S nickel is rarer than the others, especially in higher grades, and proof versions are highly sought after by numismatists. So, whether you have a Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco minted 1990 nickel, the mint mark plays a critical role in determining how much your coin might be worth. But wait, there's even more. Sometimes, during the minting process, mistakes happen. These errors or variants can make certain coins much more valuable than their regular counterparts. Here are a few error coins to watch out for. Double strikes. This happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, creating a blurry or doubled design. A double-struck nickel is a rarity and can increase the coin's value dramatically, especially if it's in good condition. Misaligned strikes. This error occurs when the coin is improperly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a coin with an off-center design. Misaligned strikes are less common and highly collectible among error coin enthusiasts. Die cracks and cuds. These are small cracks or raised areas that appear on the coin's surface due to wear on the die. While not as dramatic as double strikes or misaligned strikes, die cracks or cuds can still add significant value to a coin, depending on how noticeable and prominent the error is. If you happen to find a 1990 nickel with any of these minting errors, you might be holding onto a coin worth much more than a regular, circulated version. Another critical factor in determining the value of your 1990 Jefferson nickel is the condition of the coin. As with any collectible item, the better the condition, the more valuable the item tends to be. Coins that are graded MS 65, mint state 65, or above are considered to be in near-perfect condition, and these coins are the most desirable in the collector's market. A 1990 nickel that's been well preserved, free from heavy circulation, scratches, or tarnish, will fetch a significantly higher price than a worn, heavily circulated one. If your 1990 nickel has sharp details, a smooth surface, and retains its original luster, you could have a hidden gem on your hands. Alright, drum roll, please. You've stuck with us this far, so now it's time to reveal just how much the 1990 Jefferson nickel could be worth. If you have a 1990 nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially with a rare mint mark or an error, your coin could be worth an incredible $30,000. That's right, $30,000 for a single nickel. You heard it correctly, a 1990 Jefferson nickel could potentially fetch $30,000 if it's in top condition and has the right mint mark or error. Now that's a serious return on a 5-cent investment. So, the next time you come across a 1990 Jefferson nickel in your change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, inspect it carefully for any mint marks, errors, or unusual features. You might be holding onto a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another coin discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.